Rain hammered the chrome when the garage door jerked up. Funny how the universe never sends a rainbow, just the cold truth right to your feet. She was there, shivering on the concrete. Her two kids tangled around her legs like shadows. You ever seen a mother offer her wedding ring? Not as a gesture, just as survival. That was Nora Vale, hand trembling, gold band pinched between her fingers. My kids haven't eaten in 3 days. Will you buy my wedding ring? She asked, and let me tell you, that kind of quiet hits harder than a punch. You know what I mean? Kestrel Point wasn't the place you went to get rich, but it was the place you went to stay honest, or try. The clubhouse, an old canary yellow thing holding out against the salt wind, always felt warmer than it looked. The boys, my brothers, sat inside, Hell's Angels by patch, but real softies for hard luck, though they'd never say it out loud. I was fixing a busted chain when Nora walked in, 2 kids clinging to her coat like barnacles, and that gold ring shining in her palm. She wasn't crying, but her voice was sandpaper. Please, just enough for bread. And I stared at that ring, then at the kids. Hollow cheeks, wild eyes, the kind of hunger you can't fake. Wallet stayed put. I grabbed my cut, shrugged it on, and told her to keep the ring. We got this. You should have seen the place spark to life. Mac heading for the van. Jinx firing up the grill, Rooster snatching up blankets, everyone moving like they'd practiced this 100 times. The kitchen thundered with bacon, coffee, bread. Theo watched the steam. Ruby counted grapes like they were gold coins. Nora stood apart, her pride still taller than her fear, flinching every time boots echoed. You're safe, I told her. Low and steady. Eat first. When those kids finally took their first bites, eyes closed, you could feel the whole room breathe out. After a while, I asked who'd told her no. Pawn shop, grocer. Even the pastor had turned her away. Landlord wanted cash by Friday, and her power was already cut. That's when things went real quiet, like before a storm. Who's the landlord? I asked. Vince. Carol. Yeah, figures. The woman was running on fumes, 3 days since a real meal, turning starvation into a pretend picnic for her kids. Rooster looked away. Jinx pushed another sandwich across the table. No one plays that game here. I asked if she had anywhere to go. I can handle it, she said, voice brittle as glass. You don't have to, I replied, nodding to the boys. We're making a run. We hit the grocery, loaded the cart like we were prepping for winter, beans, rice, milk, peanut butter, marshmallows for the kids, because why not? At the pharmacy, Max set up an account under the club's name, no fuss. Then we rolled over to Harbor Light Apartments, Carol's newest slum palace, climbing the stairs past neighbors who went real quiet when they saw the Patches. Carol answered the door with that landlord smile, tried to play it cool, but his eyes flicked to the envelope I dropped on the desk. Paid in full. He tried to throw his weight, said the debt was between him and his tenant, not a bunch of bikers. I just told him, you starved kids. That makes it our business. Sometimes you gotta say it plain. That night, we carried the food up. The kids unpacking cereal like treasure, fridge humming back to life. Nora looked like she might cry for the first time. I don't know how to repay, she started. You don't, I said. Just live. I checked the locks, the windows, the smoke alarm. As I stepped out, Carol slithered in with his routine checks, 2 muscle-bound maintenance guys in tow. Rooster blocked the hall. Routine ends at midnight, he said, stone-faced. Carol threatened trespassing charges. I told him if he files, we'll file his building code violations, blocked exits, broken alarms, mold. Mac had the photos. Carol blinked, then retreated. Next morning, things got weirder. 2 officers and some clipboard from community aid came knocking, said something about minors in proximity to criminal elements. Ruby shrank behind her mom. I handed over the receipts, school letters, pharmacy forms. Even the cops looked confused. Carol, of course, waited until noon to kill the power, padlocked the main, plunging the whole building into dark. Kids cried, elders panicked. We rolled out generators, called the Port Authority, fired up every last extension cord. City inspectors showed up, saw the padlock, started writing citations, this time against Carol. Guess he picked the wrong week to pull a stunt. By afternoon, the clubhouse felt like a real community. We set up a folding table, Ruby made a sign with crooked letters, and folks trickled in. Nurses off night shifts, old fishermen, kids in school uniforms. everyone taking what they needed. And leaving something behind. Pie, knitted hats, a sketch of a Harley. News spread. Hell's Angels feed the hungry, slumlords cited. The church sent blankets. The diners sent pies. For a minute, you could almost forget who wore what patch. And just when you thought the story had turned, Carol showed up with a lawyer, waving a notice to vacate. Building condemned. Tried to clear everyone. Out by Friday. But the inspector was waiting, badge shining, with a cease and desist, for Carol, not us. Neighbors cheered. Nora looked at me, lost. You don't owe us a thing, I told her. Just live. She invited us for dinner, real food this time, and the sun broke through the clouds like a promise. Next day, the town buzzed. Farmers sent produce. A bakery offered bread. The courtyard turned into a festival. The mayor's aide arrived with cameras, trying to spin it into community partnership. Nora bristled when they called her our brave single mom. I said, loud enough for the cameras. She's not a headline. She's a human being. Don't give us credit. Just fix the damn leaks. Social media blew up, donations pouring in. For once, hope was contagious. That night, everyone gathered. In the courtyard, ribs, pie, laughter echoing off the brick. Ruby twirled barefoot with a sparkler. Pike, me, sat across from Nora, the world around us soft and golden. You're good with broken things, she said. Most aren't broken, I told her. They're waiting for someone to stop calling them trash. We sat there a while, just listening. And then, the last twist. Carol returned with a court order, tried to condemn the building again. Rooster tossed a folder of evidence at his feet. Emails, invoices, every scam he'd run, already sent to the county. The crowd watched him melt, fear swallowing up all his noise. As rain started falling, Nora came to my side, eyes wide. What now, she asked. Now you live, I said. No more waiting for rescue. The kids danced in the rain, laughter floating higher than the storm. And when it was time to leave, because you always leave, sooner or later, I rode out with my brothers, engines rolling low through the dawn, neighbors lining the street, waving. Nora stood on the steps, hand on her heart. No words, just that look. She'll be fine, I thought. She always was, just needed a little reminder. Back at the shelter, the lights stayed on late, and Nora started her own donation drive. For the next family that knocks hungry, the sign read. Weeks later, a little package arrived at her door, a pendant shaped like a winged wheel, cash for whoever needed it next, and a note. Keep the fire burning. Someone swore they heard engines in the wind that night. Maybe it was just the wind. Maybe it was a promise, kept. So, you tell me, what matters more, what people call you, or what you do when nobody's watching? Drop your thoughts below. Have you ever seen justice served, or community come together against the odds? Hit like, subscribe, and let's talk about what it means to stand up when it matters. Because somewhere out there, kindness still rides.